So I know you've discussed this on the All Eyes on Cleveland podcast. Best and worst case scenario for the 2025 Browns.
Best case scenario. Can we expect 17 games out of Joe Flacco? Is that something we can actually expect? That's best case scenario for me. A professional who's done it at a high level, and we've seen it work in this scheme. But I don't think any of us collectively are holding our breaths that Joe's going to give you a full season. Now, part of that's the age, and when we did see him play, it was a short window. Now you were an explosive team who was able to capitalize on his experience. But if we're talking best case scenario, we're talking a solid running game. Joe Flacco, if he is the starter, throwing it no more than 30 times a game, and a very, very stingy defense. If that happens, you're looking at a team with a path to the playoffs. But if the opposite happens and the offensive line does age out, plays poorly, the running backs don't get up to speed quick enough, and then you get that revolving door at quarterback, that's a pretty low basement. That's a low floor.
So here's the thing that I'm struggling with. Let's think this through. In order for the Browns to be successful, they need to run the ball, they need to take care of the ball, and they need to play good defense. Kenny Pickett, I know he doesn't give you the explosive plays that Joe Flacco does. He also doesn't turn the ball over. How do you balance that out? Because Flacco, without question, gives you a higher upside, but he'll put the ball in harm's way more often than Kenny Pickett will.
Yeah, that's why I think for Joe the running game is paramount because it could limit his exposures. If you think back 23, he's throwing the ball 42 times a game. There's just no way to do that in the NFL without turning the ball over, or at minimum putting the ball in harm's way. Maybe they drop an interception, things like that. But Kenny Pickett is a safer route, but he has a lower ceiling as far as what this offense could be. But could that be music to Stefanski's ears? Someone who just doesn't turn the ball over and who's going to run it to keep it between the lines and just play for field position and not do your defense any disservice by turning the ball over. That could play a factor. If I had to put money on it here today, I would say Flacco is the starter early in the season, and I could see a world in which Kenny Pickett gets dealt before the season starts. But a lot can change between now and then.
Yeah, my thought initially relative to that is I think Kevin Stefanski and probably to a certain extent Andrew Berry are hoping that Kenny Pickett comes out and plays lights out in training camp so that he looks like the guy that gives them the best opportunity to win. Now, can he do that? I don't know.
Well, you just touched on it. I think no matter what happens, based on what happened last year, no matter what you do, you have to put the quarterback out there that the team believes gives them the best chance to win. Someone they can rally around, they can believe in what you guys are trying to accomplish. I think last year that message got a little hollow with the Deshaun Watson comments about giving him the best chance to win. I don't know the fans didn't buy it. It'd be hard pressed for me to believe the team actually bought it as well. So whoever you put out there has to give them that. So best case scenario is one of these young guys, whether it's Pickett, whether it's Shador, whether it's Gabriel, just takes the job. And it makes it not even a question. Because if it is a question, who's the best guy, and we're feeling that on the outside, and if they feel that internally in the locker room, that they don't know who gives them the best chance to win, that can make for a messy start to the season.
Yeah, and I think in that sense it defaults to Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco kind of probably has the most credibility right now with the players just because he's done it.
And he's also the guy that you have to give the least amount of reps to leading up. So you really get to find out from the younger guys what they got. And, then if you start to get closer to the season and you see them ramping Flacco up, I think you'll have a better indication.